Hello and welcome everybody to the English grammar lesson level beginner. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you will enjoy today's lesson. If you will, do not forget to log in next week on Tuesday at 11 o'clock. But before that, visit our website, teledom.online, where you can find all the scheduled online meetings and online lessons. But don't forget to become a guest of our educational website, and then you can get all the materials and as well recordings of past online meetings and recordings of past online lessons. So that was the short introduction to teledom.online. That's our website, and you will find more information about us. Today's English lesson will be led only in English, but please remember that this is an open lesson. So if you don't understand or want me to translate a word or a phrase, please just stop me anytime and I will be happy to go back. So let's move on today's topic. And that is giving directions and city orientation. This is a very good and helpful topic for you to learn and master, because it can happen anytime that you want to know directions or you are asked to give the directions. So today we will learn the prepositions of directions. As well, we will talk about how you can ask for directions. As well, we will talk about how you can give directions. And we will cover common words and landmarks that are important for you to know if you want to give proper directions. But let's quickly review the simple prepositions of place. So let's start from the bottom up. So simple preposition in an area or space, inside we could say. So she lives in Poland, or he is in kitchen, or tourist center is in the shopping center, for example. So inside. Another preposition of place is preposition on. So on a surface or on something. The book is on the desk. It's sitting on the desk. Or they sat on the floor. They sat physically on the floor. Or you could say the park is on the hill. In, on, and last preposition is at a point or at a place. It is not specifically in, it is not specifically on, but is at. Imagine it's at some place. So for example, I met her at the bus stop. Maybe you would like to use preposition on, but remember and really keep it in your mind that with bus stops we use the preposition at. So at the bus stop. Or he is at work. We could say he is in the office, physically in the room, but if we say he is at work, we mean all the place or all the point that it's work. So it can be an office or a hall or etc. But whole place is at work or in the office. So there were 3 simple prepositions, and let's move on prepositions of direction. The opposites that we use are up and down. I'm sure you know these prepositions. Next one is into or out of. These 2 prepositions express some movement. So we are not just in the room, but we want to express the movement. So you need to walk into the city center, the movement. And the same with the opposite, out of. You need to walk out of the building to see the museum, for example. So into and out of, movement. Then we have preposition in front of and behind. So the marker is in front of me, or the marker is behind me. And the preposition over and above. These two have very similar meaning. You can most of the times switch them, so use over or above. So let's study the example. We flew over Paris. We couldn't see much because we were above the clouds. So if you think about the meaning of this sentence, over and above have almost exactly the same meaning. So over and above. And the same goes for the prepositions under and below. So under or below, you can switch them as well. So let's look at the example. Below us was the river, which ran under the bridge. You could say under us was the river, which ran under the bridge. This is not today's topic to discuss the differences, but remember, over and above have the same or similar meaning, and under and below have the similar meaning. So that were the prepositions opposites, and let's look at prepositions of directions. So mainly if you want to give directions, focus, learn, and master these prepositions. I used the verb go with the preposition, but you can use almost any other verb. So for example, walk or run or etc. So let's start with the first one, go past. We use it if we want to give direction that you need to continue past something. So in the sentence, walk past the library and it is the building next to it, means you want to tell somebody, go past the library. So you will see the library, you'll go past it, and then you will see the building or the place you're looking for. So go past. Look at the picture. Go past. Next one is go across. So in this case, in this preposition, across means you want to cross something physically. Usually it is a road or crossroad or bridge. So go across. You need to go across the road and then you will see it. You're giving directions and you want to express, the person go across it. Next one is go along and go straight on. These two have very similar meaning. So it's really up to you which one you want to use. So go along means continue down the road or up the road. So just continue going straight. And as well, go straight on means so continue walking straight. So don't turn left or don't turn right. So go along and go straight on means continue going straight. As well, you can change the verbs. So you can say walk along or run straight on. But the easiest way to say it is go along or go straight on. So I'll give you a moment to go through these four prepositions and then we will move on. So go past something, go across, go along, and go straight on. Then we already discussed the prepositions up and down, and as well you can use it with the simple verb go. So go up the hill and you will find the bus stop. Drive up to hill, you could say as well, or run or walk up to hill. Up. The opposite is down, go down, or drive down the hill or road. So in the example, go down the hill and you'll find the entrance to the park. Next one is go out of. So you need to exit. If you say go out of, you are expressing that the person needs to exit. Please go out of classroom. So I tell somebody, for example, or you could say you need to go out of the city center to find the local restaurants. So go out of. Next two phrases, it is opposite the bank and it is on the corner. So the first one, it is opposite the bank, the museum, or any other landmark. You want to say that is the opposite, so it faces. Okay, and the second, it is on the corner, means it is outside of the corner. Think about this one, and I want you focus right now, because you could say in the corner as well, but it means inside the corner, so in the corner of the room. But if we are giving directions, we use the preposition on the corner. So let's say the bank, it's on the corner of those two streets. So on the corner, remember. And two last ones, prepositions of directions, are just turn left and turn right. I think this is the prepositions you already know, but remember the verb we use it with, it's turn. So turn left or turn right. Now I want you to take a moment and go again through these prepositions. So go up, go down, go out of. You could as well use go into or walk into. Then it's the opposite. It's opposite the bank. It's opposite the shopping center. Next one is on the corner. So on the corner of two streets. Outside of the corner, not inside the corner. And we said turn left or turn right. So let's look at the real life examples. So how will you hear the conversation? If you want to ask for directions, always start with the phrase, excuse me. Put the tone on the second part, on the verb me. So excuse me, so you're making it sound like a question. So the first one is, excuse me, how do I get to the railway station? How do I get to the city center? How do I get to the neighborhood, and etc.? So you are asking for directions. Never forget to add please and thank you. Remember, English is a very polite language, so start with excuse me and finish with please, always. So how do I get to? Next very common question is, excuse me, where is the nearest post office? Where is the nearest tourist center? Where is the nearest bus stop? So you are looking for the nearest location of your desire. So where is the nearest? And the third and last question I want you to remember is, excuse me, I'm looking for the number 6 bus, or I'm looking for the tourist center, I'm looking for the main street, or etc. So this is not a question, but you are asking for directions. So remember these 3 simple ways to ask. how do I get to, where is the nearest, and I'm looking for. Always remember, start with excuse me and end with please. And the opposite situation is when you are giving directions. So imagine you're a local person and some tourists ask you for directions. So you can just simply give the directions using the preposition we already talked about, prepositions of directions. And you can add simple sentences such as, it's about 5 minutes from here, or it is about 10-minute walk from here. So simple sentences. Remember, English is a simple language. Just stick to easy and short sentences. Remember the third phrase. If it's difficult for you to give the correct directions, you can just easily say, it is easier if I can show you on the map. Okay, you don't want to give a long direction, elaborate directions. You just simply say, it is easier if I can show you on the map. Another good phrase, if you give directions, go straight on, then turn left, and then you will see it, or then you will come to bank. Use the future tense. You will see it, you will come to a bank, a theater, a museum. So if you want to focus that person on some point, you will see it, you will come to it. The next phrase is very useful as well. If you want to tell somebody to take some turn or don't take. So don't take the first road. It means don't turn left. Or take the second turn. So it means go straight on and then take the second turn. Then turn left. And the last one phrase, very common, is go on. So continue for about 2 minutes or 100 meters. So go on, continue about some time or some distance. So now I want you to focus for a while and go again through these phrases and expressions. If you're asking, stick to the 3 main. How do I get to? Where is the nearest? And I'm looking for. And if you are asked to give directions, remember the prepositions. And let's cover the common words and landmarks. These words are good for you to know because if you want to give the proper and correct directions, these words will help you. Now I want you to turn on your mics, and if you know the translation to these, I want you to say it out loud. So just say it out. So taxi rank, a place where taxis queue for passengers. So does anybody know the translation to Slovak? That's it. Okay. What about next one? Level crossing, where the road and railway meet. There are barriers that they go up and down to signal when a train is coming. So level crossing. Does anybody know the translation? Priecestie. Next one. Underpass. A walkway that goes under a busy road so pedestrians, walkers, can get to the other side safely. So think about the translation. If you know it, say it out loud.
Podchod.
Very good. The opposite to underpass is overpass, or you can hear somebody say it is a flyover. A road that goes over another road. Does anybody know the translation?
nadchod.
Very good.
Nadjazd.
Alebo nadjazd, presne tak. Underpass or overpass. You can use it for pedestrians as well, and as well for roads or for cars. Zebra crossing and pedestrian crossing have the same meaning if you think about it. Zebra crossing are those black and white stripes or markings on the roads where pedestrians cross the road. And pedestrian crossing is just a simpler way to say it. It's a place where the pedestrian can cross the road. So you can use zebra crossing or pedestrian crossing. But be careful, never use just crossing, okay? Because we use the word crossing in many other meanings. So for you to make it clear, if you want to give clear directions, use zebra crossing or pedestrian crossing. Here comes the translation. Very good. And the last one is tunnel. Oh, that's the same for us. So tunnel, I think that's an international word. And let's move on. Second slide of these common words and landmarks. So first one is crossroads, where two roads cross each other. Does anybody know the translation? Very good. And as well, you can use the word junction. Junction is usually bigger crossroad, okay, where one road meets another, or at least two or three roads meet another, okay? And you can go to the right or to the left, but you can go to the left or right with crossroad as well. But junction usually is bigger, so it has the same translation. The third one is a very British way to express fork in the road, and it is where roads divides, okay? So think about the translation. Does anybody know the translation to the phrase fork in the road? Okay, fork in the road, if you want to give somebody direction, so you could say, go straight on until you reach fork in the road, and then turn left or turn right. So fork in the road is actually a good way to express it, but as well you could use the word crossroad or junction. Next phrase is turning. So it is just simple, where road off to the left or right. So do you know the translation to a word turning? And last two landmark. The first one is main road. So it is important for you to know this word if you want to give directions to a driver, or you are asking for directions and you are a driver. Main road is the big road where a lot of traffic happens, but main road, the translation is hlavná cesta. And the last, it's lane. We could use two meanings. The first meaning is a small road compared to main road, but usually we translate lane as one part of the road. So when you are driving, you need to know which lane to stay in for you to take the correct turn, for example. So lane, it's a part of a road. Jazdný kruh. But remember, we can say a small road is lane as well. So now is the time for your questions. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask. If not, let's move on and do some exercise. You can do it with me, or you can do it on your own, and you'll find this exercise in the chat box. So here is the chat box, and here you can find the exercise. But let's do it together. So let's start with the simple prepositions. Fill the gaps with preposition at, on, and in. I put the book on the table. Very good. The butter is in the fridge. Very good. We saw them at the bus stop. Very good. The fourth one is I met her. Does anybody know?
On.
At. And I want you to think about this example. Like we said, he is at work. Okay, it's all place that we can call work. It's not only one office. It's maybe whole building, maybe some garden as well. So at a party. Imagine you are at a party at some house. So you can be in the house, you can be on the rooftop, you can be in the garden, but you're still at a party. So therefore, we use the preposition at because we want to express the whole place. So at a party or at a work. At. And the last one, she works in Moscow. So in the city. Good. So that was 5 easy sentences. And let's move on to more difficult ones. So I want you to just choose the correct options. You have 2 options and you need to choose only one. So first one, excuse me, where can I
find a supermarket?
Find a supermarket. Very good. Next one, excuse me, how can I
get to the railway station?
Very good. Very good. If you want to ask for directions, it is better and even correct way to say it. How do I get there? How do I get to somewhere? Very good. What about the third one? Excuse me, how do I get? Very good. Next one is a little bit tricky. So, excuse me, is this the way for the railway station? Right. Very good. Right way. You can just simply ask, is this the right way to the railway station, or is this the right way to the city center? As another very good and common question if you're asking for directions. Next one is, excuse me.
Could you tell me?
Could you tell me? Very good. Little note, imagine the difference between the verb say and tell. Say, it's usually short, okay? You can say a word, you can say a name, so short, and tell a story, tell directions, okay? Usually more than one sentence. So that's the difference between say and tell. Very good. What about the next one? Excuse me.
Excuse me, I am looking for the swimming pool.
Very good. I'm looking. So don't think about the tenses, okay? This is a phrase. I'm looking for, never I look for, okay? I'm looking for, I'm searching, really. What about the next one? Excuse me, is there a bank
near here?
Near here. Very good. If we would ask right here, we are thinking right here. And if it's right here, you could see it. So you're asking, is there a bank or is there a tourist center near here? Next one, excuse me, where is the nearest post office? Very good. Okay. Next one, excuse me, do you know? This is a tricky one.
Where the town hall is.
Very good. Very, very good. Remember, if we or create a question with two really questions in one sentence. We ask the first question, so do you know? We put it in a question form, do you know? And then the rest of the sentence is just like other simple sentence, where the town hall is. We don't want to ask, do you know where is the town hall? Okay, remember, first part of the question is, do you know, or where can I find, or etc. And then just a simple sentence. And let's finish the last question. Excuse me, could you
Give me direction for the
give me
motorway.
directions? Remember, we are giving directions. You could tell a story or you could tell a joke, but with the directions, you are giving them. Okay, that's it for the exercise. And now it's the time to ask the question if you have any. Okay, anybody a question?
No, thank you.
If not, I would like to say thank you very much for being good students again. If you like today's lesson, do not forget to visit our website. And when you visit it, you will find all the information, scheduled meetings, scheduled lessons, all the documents and materials we use, even the recordings of past lessons. Just become a guest of our educational website. Thank you very much and have a nice and wonderful day.